Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today's gonna be a good one. Today's all about how to shoot like a pro, how to get professional aim, or shoot like a god. So let's get right into it. By the way, um, I'm just doing this raw, no editing, because I'm too lazy to edit this video. So yeah, let's get right into it. So for tip number one, it's just it's pretty cliche, but it's finding your sensitivity sweet spot. This is a personal preference thing, so I can't really help you guys either. It's basically like you gotta like play a free for all or just play like a private match and like just play around with your sensitivities and find something that you're comfortable with. Find something that you're that's consistent and is comfortable for you. So personally for me that's 6.6. Um, just a good thing to keep in mind is the lower your sensitivity is, the more consistent your aim will be, and the higher it is, the more inconsistent it'll be. So, so yeah, just find the proper sensitivity, something that is consistent and comfortable for you. That's tip number one. Tip number two is warm up properly. Yep, that's right, warm up. So load up some pubs or load up into a private game and play some pubs, get warmed up, get your fingers snapping, stretch your fingers out, make sure you're warm yourself because if you're cold, your gameplay's gonna suffer, I promise you. So make sure you're nice and toasty, stretch your hands and forearms, shoot some bots, play some pubs, just warm up properly, take the time to warm up, um, get your movement right, get your shot nice and crisp. And then moving on to tip number three, we have centering. So for example, centering is basically these mid cross, the where you're aiming, like these mid crossfire things. So for example, if I know someone's in this building, right? My centering, basically I'm centering my crosshairs right on where I think my next gunfight's going to be, or right where I think my next enemy is. So basically, therefore, I don't have to like waste time on dragging up and snapping onto someone or readjusting or recentering. So that like it's basically buying me seconds and saving me like milliseconds that could be precious in a gunfight. Um, just like you know, stacking all the odds for you is what I'm saying. So like right there, my centering was good. I didn't have to readjust to any of those guys. I was yeah, like you guys got the idea. So just make sure your centering is always on point. Um, it's always nice and crisp, going around, especially going around corners. Or when you're challenging someone. Like for example, he's either in this right corner or right there. Bang. Perfect centering. Oh shit. So yeah, just perfect centering. Making sure you're always centered on where your enemies are. Oh god, potato. Just making sure you're centered and ready for the next gunfight. And then moving on to the next tip that actually has a little bit to do with this. Basically knowing where your next interaction is going to be, knowing where your next gunfight's going to be, and that's you need like game knowledge for that. So honestly, you just got to play the game, learn spawns, learn rotations, learn cutoffs and stuff like that. So this applies mostly for like people that play competitive, but it also applies to people that play pubs too, because I'm sure you can learn spawns and stuff in pubs as well. It's just a lot harder and it's more inconsistent because people play really weird and unpredictable in pubs. So yeah, so just learning where your next gunfight's going to be. So for example, let me show you guys a good example. That's the current hill, okay? And they should spawn over there. And I know there's a person in the hill. So he's definitely either on the head glitch or in the corner. So I'm going to come around, slide cancel, beam him. Oh, slide cancel, beam him, center, and beam him. And then, since I killed them all, they might spawn back here. Nope, okay. So they're going to spawn either in there or mid crates. So I'm centering, I'm ready. Ready for the gunfight. Bam. I'm on a heady too to make my chances even better. Bam. No chance. So yeah, just learning where your next gunfight is, learning where your next interaction or where the enemies are spawning and stuff like that. That's a little bit to do. That has a lot to do with game knowledge, but yeah. So just yeah, that is tip number 4, I believe. Yeah, tip number 4. Tip number 5 is oh okay. Tip number 5 is learn recoil. Learn the recoil on the guns that you use. This is specifically for, you know, professional players or comp players, but hey man, if you're playing pubs too, I'm sure you can learn the recoil for your guns that you use often. So yeah. So for example, let's see. Alright, this is the recoil pattern. So the meta guns in multiplayer for this game is the M4 and the MP5. So this is the recoil pattern for the M4A1. Up and then to the right. And basically, basically if it's going up and right, what you want to do is hold down on your joystick and slightly to your left when you're shooting. So like, instead of recoiling like that, when you're shooting, when you're holding it down. Oh, okay, I just got aimbot on that. God damn it, bot. Ruined my freaking presentation. But yeah, so just here, like here's a good example. My shot is not moving at all. It stayed pinpoint accurate the whole time because I was holding down and controlling my recoil. So yeah, learn the recoil for your guns. Especially if you're in AR, that takes, you know, long distance to mid-range gunfights. You definitely have to learn the recoil for your guns and learn to just hold down on the right joystick while you're shooting. Because, like, for example, if someone's on that head glitch over there, right, and I have to shoot him from far distance, my whole body's exposed too. So, and if I don't control the recoil, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. He's gonna beam me and I'm dead. But if I come around the corner and I control the recoil, he's dead. 9 out of 10 times. If you control your recoil, you break the cameras in the game, you know, you come hot around the corner, all that good stuff. So yeah, learn the recoil for your guns and hold down on your right joystick while you're shooting. And then the next tip number 5, I believe, maybe 6, I'm not sure, is simply just aim higher. Like, it's so often that I see players running around the map with their crosshairs like too low or too high or just funky and all over the place. So just aim higher when you're running around, because a lot of the times I see people running around like this, and like, what if you get caught lacking around the corner and your aim's down here? You're gonna have to snap back up and then shoot him. Or most of the time, if your aim is too low, you're gonna be shooting their legs or their hips while they're gonna shoot you in your chest and your head. You're gonna die in like 2 bullets and they're gonna die in like 4. Like, so basically just aim higher. Make sure you're aiming for their chest, aiming for their head in every gunfight, because makes the time to kill them a lot more quicker, and it makes it a lot more harder for them to kill you, because you're killing them before they kill you. So yeah, aim higher. And then another tip is learn when and where to pre-fire and wallbang stuff. Like, especially if you're playing like competitive, like objective modes. When people are in hills and stuff, or they're ducking around behind walls and shit, or like if you light someone up and they just barely make it around a corner, wallbang the corner. Like 9 out of 10 times you'll probably get that kill if you wallbang it right as he goes around the corner, and if he's lit up especially. So yeah, learn when to wallbang and when to pre-fire stuff. Like for pre-fire, like you just gotta know someone's gonna come around the corner. Like for example, if I know this kid's coming around this corner, watch. Let's see if he does. It's a bot. Okay, where is he? Okay, he's coming around there. Okay, so if I know this guy's coming around the corner and I pre-fire it before he even gets to turn around, there's no way he's winning that gunfight. So yeah, learn when to pre-fire, learn when to wallbang and stuff like that. And then yeah, I think that, and pair all of these things up with your movement. Pair them up with your movement. If you guys haven't watched my How to Move Like a God video, then definitely go check that out. It's on my channel. I'll link it in my description. But yeah, other than that, I think that is it for all of the how to shoot like a god, how to get godlike aim. So yeah, just to recap, we got find your sensitivity sweet spot, warm up properly, make sure your centering is always on point, learn the recoil for your guns, knowing where your next gunfight is, and learn when to pre-fire and wallbang, and pair all these things up with your movement and aim higher. That is going to be today's video. Hopefully you guys thought it was helpful. Hopefully it helped you guys out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And as always, please remember to share the video, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave you guys with some gameplay. Other than that, see.
Get that kill.